Every company has a revenue gap. I have one, you have one, and what I mean by it is this. You have a current situation, right? Your current state, A, and B, where you want to get to. Now, whether you're a $5 million company or a $500,000 company or a $500 million company or a $5 billion company, everybody has a current state and a desired state where they want to get to. Okay? At our level, everybody has marching orders for some growth of some kind. And if you're somehow one of those companies that doesn't have a budget and a group of people who are assigned to this, then I'm of no interest to you. You could stop watching the videos and go somewhere else. You're not a good fit for me. All right? But for those of you who get up every morning and are part of a team or the leader of a team or have a team that's been tasked with taking you from your A to B, then this video is going to be of tremendous interest. Okay? In the previous video, and if you haven't watched it, go watch the source of unlimited revenue growth. I took you to the source of where. Okay? Today, I'm going to show you how. And every single company, yours, mine, everybody in B2B, has a solution. Okay? And it's this. No more complicated than this. We all have a marketplace, right? You built your product to solve a problem, right? You built your product or solution to produce a result, right? You didn't build what you did and then went and looked for a marketplace. No, you identified a marketplace that had either a problem that they wanted to get rid of or a result they wanted but did not have, and you built a value proposition that delivers, okay? So there's an existing marketplace, and inside that marketplace you have an ideal customer profile, right? An ICP. Now, the greater circle represents your marketplace. Inside that marketplace, you have prospects that have already started the buyer's journey, right? They're the ones that are actively pursuing a purchase of what you sell. How are they doing that? Well, they're doing keyword search, they're consuming content, they're doing competitor analysis against you, they're navigating very specific URLs that are based and around the topic. All right? Now, inside that in-market, as we call it, are prospects that are deeper in the funnel that have not only gotten in market, but they're actually on your website. They're actually potentially considering and preparing to buy from you. Okay? So let's start with your site visitor. That's step one to scale. If you're like every person we've spoken to, you fall into the larger group, 93+% that don't do any paid media. That means that your traffic comes from these top three sources: organic, referral, and direct. Now, if you are doing paid media, great. Then you're ahead of the curve. All right, you're part of the 7%. Good for you. Now, your website gets visitors. In the previous video, I talked to you about your content. Right? I talked to you about your collateral, your website. That's a conversation, a digital conversation. So what you want to be able to do is have conversation now with your site visitors. They're already to your website. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to spend anything. You don't have to lift another finger. They're already on your website. We put a name to them, the company, right? We give you all their contact information. We tell you what their navigation behavior is so you can get belly to belly, pipeline them, and close them. Now, that's step one. Focus on site visitor. We give you a very low cost, low risk, conservative way to take the next step. Now, once you accomplish that, you're not done. Because you're going to say, Tom, how do I get more site visitors? Simple. Let's focus on your in-market. Now, how do we come to those numbers? Well, in the next video, I'm going to show you how to calculate them, but I'm going to give you the short course here. Every person isn't a sale, but a lot of them are. A lot of them are closable, and they represent the dollar amount, an average sale. or lifetime client value, however you want to calculate it. Keep it simple. Just do it based on an average sale. What's your average sale? So if you have 100 site visitors, for argument's sake, and they're all worth $100,000, then you've got $10 million in revenue. Okay? And so let me just make sure I did that right. 100,000 people times 100 people times 100,000. Right? I'm doing this live. See how good I am? 10 million. All right. Usually when I'm talking on these videos, I have to think. I screw up, so I apologize. Little diversion there. Nice to meet you, by the way. All right. You have $10 million in site visitor opportunity. Think about that. $10 million that if you can just get them that last little bit, and you can't do it on your website. A conversation online is fantastic, but it's only a precursor for the physical one. Right? It's only going to take the sale so far. That's why 68% of the sale is done and not 100% of the done, according to Forrester. Right? Forrester says 68% of the sale is completed before you ever speak to them. You still have to take it the rest of the way, 32%. Now, once you're done with your site visitor, you should be excited because now you're prepared to get more quality people to your website where you can build a relationship, where you can have digital conversation, and you can close. Okay? You can close the 68% portion so that you can now get them on the phone as site visitors. Because let me explain something about your content. And I said this in the prior video. Not only are you building a relationship, not only are you proving you're reliable and capable, but more to the point, let's just go back, just the basic part of this. It is physically impossible to consume content and say you don't trust somebody. You don't like somebody. Okay? And if the content is relevant to the problem they're looking to solve, they're going to feel good about championing you inside their company, bringing the rest of the account-based team to the content. Okay? And what you're going to be able to do with your in-market is get them to consume content from you. Why? Because it's human nature for them to make smart buying decisions. And if they're in market, they're not ready to buy. They're ready to pursue information that helps them, right? That helps facilitate that decision-making process. Your content helps facilitate that process. So in market gets to your website, consumes your content, proves you're reliable, proves you're capable, and builds trust, relevant trust to the problem at hand. And now you're on the phone with them. So you're getting a better quality sales-ready conversation. Now, once you've exhausted in market, look at the blue, the remainder of the marketplace. What most of you don't realize is that we know who those people are. We have their contact information. And what? We can run ads for you if you're incapable or unwilling or unwanting to do it for yourself, and we'll get them in market. We'll get them site visitor status so that you can close them. Okay? Because at any one time, a certain percentage are on your website, a certain percentage are in market but not on your website, and a certain percentage, a larger percentage of your marketplace hasn't taken the necessary steps. They haven't started yet. But that doesn't mean you can't turn them into in market. Doesn't mean you can't turn your in market into site visitor. Now, all of that makes total sense if you can do one thing. Close your site visitors. That's why we give you a low cost, low risk way, right? We give you site visitor for damn near nothing. And we do it for the sole purpose that we know that if we give you this low risk way, that you're going to scale. Who's going to just close their site visitor and go, yeah, we're good enough with that, Tom? Bullshit. You're all going to want to say, Tom, get me more site visitors. Tom, I've exhausted all my in-market. Get me more in-market so I can have more site visitor. Okay? The whole purpose of our site visitor program is to put information in your hands that allows you to feel in total control of the decision. If I tried to sell you on the whole thing, I'd be making a mistake. Now, why do you want to do site visitor? Because site visitor is just the beginning of scaling, being in total control never having to rely on anybody but yourself to perpetually develop high quality, educated sales leads, closable, pipelinable sales leads. If at this point you're probably 5, 6 videos in, you haven't booked an appointment, you're making a mistake. I'm begging you to get on the phone with us. I'm begging you to try SiteVisitor. Okay? Not because I'm going to get your sale, but because I know that once I get this in your hands, once you start to experience it, you're going to know exactly what I'm saying is true. Not taking my word for it because of some damn video, but because you're experiencing it firsthand. I'm going to help facilitate your scale. Because you don't want some leads. You want every possible lead. And you want them to be highly qualified. Now let's talk about that before we go. I've never talked about this yet in any of our videos. What is a qualified sales lead? Again, I'll go back to Mech Labs. A qualified sales lead is two things. It fits your ideal customer profile, and it's sales ready. And you define what that is. But I guarantee you that if I got on the phone and we discussed that and we defined what ICP means for you and what sales ready means for you, you're going to see that if you get a prospect that fits the ideal customer profile and they're educated about the problem, they're educated about the solution, and they're educated about you, you're going to say they're sales ready. Your sales staff is going to say they're sales ready. And I don't care whether you're in marketing or sales. Let me tell you something. You guys are on the same path. Digital marketing leads to sales. You have to both understand the sale starts online. So if you're in the marketing, trust me, get them to the content, scale this way, and you will be handing off high quality, qualified sales lead. And your sales staff will thank you. And sales, what you want is a sales ready. Sales ready meaning there's a bit of a relationship that's been built around the problem. The company has proven they're reliable and they're capable of solving that problem. Okay? When you get them on the phone, they're going to know who you are, they're going to know what you offer, and they're knowing that you're capable. Give me that lead. I'll close it for you, and I don't even work for you. Your staff are closing harder leads right now. Book a call if you haven't. Do SiteVisitor if you haven't. You're making a mistake not looking at the power of your website, the power of your marketplace, the power of the buyer's journey. Now notice in all my videos, I never talk about the technology. Identity resolution opens up insight that you can close. That's the path to scale. SiteVisitor first, in-market second, greater marketplace third. You drive your marketplace in-market, you drive your in-market to your website, you close your site visitors. Not hard. Now, how do you do that? You educate them. You build trust. You build a relationship. Trust is at the center of a relationship. Okay? Talk soon.